Well, it's hashtag finally Friday. You made it through another week. Glad to have you with us. I'm Todd Duplantis. You are watching Up to the Minute. We've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour or so. We've got a great show lined up for you. Two HCC guests. We'll get to them in a moment, but I've got two co-hosts. Two is always better than one. Frank Cooper joins me as well. And Frank Cooper, good morning to you.
Good morning, boss man. Good morning, Britt. It's a pleasure always being here on Fridays, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Up to the Minutes on YouTube, 5 days a week. Get the latest campus news, notes, what's going on around the colleges. Also, we're on social media too. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Follow us on there as well. Let's grow the show.
That's right. Brittany Pacheco joining us from her home studio on this Friday. And Brittany, it's a special day for you. I think a couple of years ago, you and I talked on this one of these days. And if you remember, I went to you and it was the day before we left for Christmas break. And I said, this is the day. This day only comes one time a year.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
You know, I have memorable conversations. At least they're memorable to me. Other people don't remember them.
No, sorry, can't recall. I'm too excited that today is actually my last day of work for the year. That is right. I will not be back until January 2021. So I've got my 'tis the season to be bossy shirt on, ready to go, because I'm about to lay down the law here at my house. With my dog.
Wow. Okay, boy, I feel for your husband and Luna around there.
Hey, Luna's gonna take her K9 Good Citizen test in a couple weeks, and she needs to buckle down. So, but yeah, Frank had already said my little spiel about social media. So Todd, let's just go ahead and get right into the show.
That's right. Thanks, Brittany and Frank. Stick around. We'll check in with y'all later. Frank, we'll talk some sports. All right.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll check in with you in a while. We've got two HCC guests. Joining us is Mohammad Rahighi, and you are the program coordinator for instrumentation technology at the Global Center of Excellence. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for
being
here. Yeah, we've been talking about the Global Center of Excellence for the last few weeks. We had several guests. It's good to have you on board. We're going to check in with you in just a few minutes. Right now, though, we are joined by Dr. Jimmy Adams. Of course, his day job, he is the College Operations Officer for HCC Northeast College. And on Fridays, only Fridays, he is our resident poet. Good morning to you, Dr. Adams.
All right, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
So I imagine out at the Northeast College, you guys are moving along. You're wrapping up the semester. A lot of students, I imagine, have taken their finals and they're off for the semester. And you guys are about to wrap things up, for at least most of you, for a couple of week break.
Yeah, we're gearing down, the campuses, and I think we're going to have some student services, some virtual lobby stuff available for students over the holidays as well. But right now we're doing our walkthroughs, making sure everything's in place to shut it down for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we all get a well-deserved break for a couple of weeks. That's going to be great. One more week to go for most of us, except for Brittany, who's taking time off. Dr. Adams, you've got a piece of poetry you're going to get into for today. It's called To the Beat, A Message in the Music. And this is kind of a piece that goes back to your piece you did last week. It's kind of continuation.
Yeah, and last week I did, the gangster rap piece, and I think both pieces kind of reflect on the message that music carries, and music to me is like a universal message carrier, and if you really listen to the lyrics of songs, you can kind of see what they're trying to convey in their message, and if you are, from the old school, like I am, back in the day, pretty much all of the singing groups, if you listen to their lyrics, they were sending a message or carrying a message with what they were trying to, stand for at that time, and it kind of relate to the things that were happening in the world. So this piece is kind of related to that.
Let's go ahead and get to it, Dr. Adams.
All right, let's do it. So cue music now. This is a musical reflection of songs that have defined my perspectives on society and life, titled To the Beat, A Message in the Music. For me, music transcends all color, race, gender, and religious boundaries. Music carries a message if we pay close attention and listen to what the lyrics have to say. Recording artists like Stevie Wonder, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, John Mayer, Sarah McLachlan, Michael Jackson, The Temptations, Earth, Wind, and Fire are just a few of the artists whose music has impacted my life. So listen closely and you will hear what I've heard in the music. Clap your hands and stomp your feet, move in rhythm to the beat. Songs of the past carry a message today. So listen to what the music has to say. I wish those days never had to go when I was a little boy, because I don't know what's going on in the world anymore. I only know that a change is gonna come, and we all will have to pay for the wrongs we have done. You should understand that everything must change. Nothing stays the same. To survive in this world, we all have to play the game. But we can't stand around waiting on the world to change. We have to look at the man in the mirror and make a change. We can't keep living in this masquerade, because life goes on and time will begin to fade. We can't keep living for the city with our hands out, begging for pity. But sometimes that's just the way it is. We create the life we live, but we are lost in an illusion, and that's what the world is today, a ball of confusion. But I know that's the way of the world. But we can plant a flower and grow a pearl. So don't get caught up in this inner city blues. Because if we do, we all will lose. Because don't you know, smiling faces sometimes don't tell the truth, and life can take hold and won't let you loose. But a troubled man becomes used to the abuse. So with every breath that you take, please don't hesitate. Find your escape in the arms of an angel. She will set you free. Mercy, mercy me. Things ain't what they used to be. So wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. It's time for thinking ahead. Songs of the past carry a message today. There's a message in the music, so listen to what the music has to say. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, move in rhythm to the beat. Thank you.
Dr. Adams, another incredible piece. You know, I heard the references to those classic songs in there. It's always great to hear that. I heard, let's see, a little Marvin Gaye, maybe, some Spinners, or I'm gonna say Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'll throw out a few more names, my favorites. I like The Main Ingredient.
Yeah.
Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Spinners, Sly and the Family Stone, Temptations, War. I could go on forever. All of those songs, they, were written during different times, but those themes still resonate today. And I think that's what makes them timeless.
And if you listen, go back and listen to Marvin Gaye, some of his music, he was talking about times that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Back in that era. And I think a lot of times the music also, when you listen to, the songs of the past, they give you hope. And they are, truthful and real with what's going on. And so I think as we listen to music, man, pay attention to what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times that's, there's a message that they want you to hear and pay attention to and, bring some light to. And so this piece has a lot of meaning because these are the songs that got me through back in the day in college and high school. It just kind of brings back a lot of memories too. So.
Yeah, well, they're still out there too. I listen all day long, pretty much when I'm not online. I'll have 70s on 7 playing on the system around the house, and you hear a lot of that music. To me, it's just feel good music, and it certainly has
feel good music. And it has a message. And a lot of times, you have the beat and the music is so good, you forget about the message that they're sending.
That's exactly.
It's a serious song. I'm dancing to this serious song,
Well, Marvin Gaye was a classic example of that because every one of the songs had such a deep message. But really, what got everybody on board was the rhythm and the music itself, but the message is certainly
there. And so that beat, man, pulls you in, and that's what I was trying to convey with the with the rap music and gangster rap. Those beats are catchy, and and so we have to make sure that the message that we're sending is one of positivity or one that's bringing, reality for reflection, and so be careful, what you put into your music and what you convey. A lot of young folks are listening. You can have an impact on, on a positive, making positive change if we listen to what we really want to say in our music. So,
Dr. Adams, we appreciate you being here today. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week before that break. How about that?
All right, I got one more to go.
One more, and then we're into 2021.
Yeah, we'll close it out, man. So you guys be safe, and I'll see y'all next week.
Thanks a lot. Stay safe out there.
Good to see you, Mohammad.
Thank you.
All right.
Mohammad Rahighi, you are the program coordinator for instrumentation technology with the Global Energy Center of Excellence. I'm running an episode of The Topic this week. I recorded with one of your students who was on the show, who took the instrumentation technology program. And he really sang the praises of you and the faculty and staff there.
Well, thank you. It was very nice of him. Thank you.
What is instrumentation and control for people who are watching, and how do you fit into the Global Energy Center of Excellence?
Yes, the instrumentations deals with instruments that control and measure variables in process control like temperature, pressure, flow, levels, density, viscosity. Those are the main variables that these instruments are measuring. Of course, instrumentation is not just limited to process control. It could be any electronic instruments, for example, instruments they use in biomedicals, instruments they use in food processing, things like that.
The instrumentation that you use at HCC in your labs, are they comparable to what students are going to learn or use in the future out there in the field at their own jobs? And I imagine there's a lot of learning before you get into that lab setting as well.
That is correct. We try to every year purchase instruments which they are the latest in the field. And these instruments, they are kind of miniature of what they see in the field. So we have all of those just put into one or two or three instruments, and we try to teach those to the students. So when they go to the field, they are familiar with each one of those equipment and components.
What are now the degree you would get, or the certification, is for an instrumentation technician. What are the duties that they may have?
I'm sorry, what are they what?
What are their duties that they'll have with their job?
Oh, okay.
Instrumentation.
Well, the instrumentation technician, what it does, it will test, it will calibrate, it will repair, install, and maintain all these instruments that they use in process control. So that is their task, the main task. So they are always there to support the process technology as far as all those instruments that they use to measure, to control these variables that I was talking about, like temperature, pressure, flow, and level, things like that.
Is it possible for someone to get into your program, maybe they were let go at another job, get into your program, but start working while they're completing their AAS or their certificate? After they get a certification, can they start working while they're completing their degree?
Majority, actually, they do. Majority of our students, they work and then they continue with their education in instrumentation. That's why almost all of our classes are in the evening. So we'll allow the students, to do their work during the day and be able to come to school in the evening and continue their education.
And that's what I think the student's name was Christopher Nickerson that we spoke with.
Yes.
On our show. He was in the process of completing his AAS degree. And he said that's one of the things that attracted him to HCC, is because he could complete his degree after hours. And I imagine from what you're saying, a lot of your students are already out there in the field, either working in this field or another job. And this offers a better component for them in taking evening classes.
That is true. Actually, in the same class that Chris is in, we have the two students, which they're already working in instrumentation, and they're just upgrading, their education in instrumentation.
Do you offer job placement if a student is not already working in the field? And do you have employers that you have partnerships that come to you looking for students who are properly trained?
Yes, the HCC, the placement helps the students, to assist the students to find a job. We have a career hub at HCC, which is very helpful. The students can actually log into the career hub and take a look at the employers that they are hiring, the instrumentation or any other employment. It just doesn't limit to the instrumentation. And yes, as far as internship goes, we are in the process. Actually, right now we are in process with one of the companies, which hopefully will get a partnership either in the spring or beginning of summer.
If someone is thinking about this as a career, what are the qualities and what are the things that this student must like to go into a career field with instruments as an instrumentation technician?
Well, the student should like, of course, electronics, because what this field is, it is the combination of electronics, mechanical, so those two are combined together. So somebody who really likes hands-on and really likes to work with electronics and mechanical, also knows some about the chemical, will love to work in this field. So it is a combination of those. It's not just one.
It sounds like with the duties that an instrumentation tech would have, that they were possibly needed during the shutdown and considered the essential workers, because businesses have to keep production going, whether they're manufacturing gasoline, refining gasoline, or manufacturing plastic. They need someone who controls the processes, or the plants aren't going to function properly. Were they considered essential workers in many cases?
Yes, yes. because as I was mentioning before, instrumentation technician works in like chemical plants, refineries, food processing, the areas. So those are essentials. And definitely these areas, they need instrumentation technicians. So yes, the answer is yes, it is essential.
So there you have it, a very high demand career, something that's people are looking for, great job placement, and we offer the program here at HCC. Mohammad Rahighi, the program coordinator of instrumentation technology, thanks for being here this morning. Folks, if you're interested in exploring more about the program, we'll put the link to it in the social media post. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon. Stay safe.
Thank you.
All right, HCC news and announcements. It's that time of year. We're about to take a break, but most of us here have another full week of working. Brittany, though, leaving us after today for a short vacation before her longer vacation. So, Brittany, before we get to talking about all the fun that you're about to have, serious subject, food insecurity throughout the city of Houston, especially with our students, is something that is a reality. Yes, a lot of our students are worried about their next meal. HCC is trying to answer that by offering some solutions through our Eagle Food Market.
That's correct, Todd. So the Eagle Mobile Food Market is here for about another week at several HCC campuses, but registration is necessary. Now, keep in mind, all HCC community members can sign up to receive free food by registering to choose a campus, date, and time. So once again, this free food distribution is going on up until, excuse me, I was about to lose my voice right there, up until December 14th, which is next Monday. This is available at multiple HCC locations. So be sure to register, because that is the one way to ensure you getting a part of this food distribution.
Okay, so let's talk about other things going on. Journal of Communications featuring our mail center. That's an interesting one. Frank, you want to take a look at that?
Absolutely. So the official mail guide, OMG, features our own HCC Mail Center this month in the lead article by its managers, Ken Hoyle, called A Mail Center Without Walls. It covers hardworking department during the pandemic, and the Journal of Communications, a trade publication read by more than 100,000 executives in 177 nations worldwide. So to see more about this story, go to mailomg.com.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about our Fall Student Film Festival showcase. Since COVID has hit, we can't hold film festivals, art exhibitions, all these things in person, but the filmmaking program is going to social media, particularly YouTube for it. Brittany?
Yeah, that's right, Todd. We've talked about this before, and we're going to talk about it again. So the filmmaking program is using YouTube as its platform to present its end of semester compilation screening of student projects. This is happening Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. So this Saturday, December 12th. Registration is not required because YouTube. YouTube link to come. We'll be sure to incorporate that into this post after this show. We're going to feature TV production, video graphics and visual effects, cinematography, and directing. So for more information, email michael.cohn, C-O-H-N, at hccs.edu.
Academic Success Center tutors are available. Students, you need some help. HCC has some assistance. The tutors are available to meet virtually thanks to HCC's Academic Success Center. All you have to do is go to the link in our social media post for here. We're also doing some in-person financial aid appointments, Frank, but you have to schedule them ahead. Don't just walk up.
Absolutely. So they accept an in-person appointments, no walk-ins. Go online to book an appointment. So for more information about that, go to hccs.edu/FIN aid contact.
So free swag for enrollment. Yep, we've got some things going on. What we're particularly looking at right now is we've got a number of students who are enrolled at HCC, and we'd like you to enroll in the spring. It's very easy to do. You can go to hccs.edu/now. But if you register today to secure your spring classes, if you do so by January the 8th, you have a chance to win some HCC swag, bookstore gift cards. Those always come in useful. And even even, get this, iPads. Visit our virtual lobby for enrollment, advising, and payment help. The main thing is, folks, spring enrollment is happening. Our classes are going to be smaller, especially the ones that are happening on campuses, and they'll follow CDC guidelines. Register early, get enrolled. We've got payment plans, we've got financial aid, but you need to register. Get the process started early. Don't wait till the last minute because you may not get the classes that you need. Go to hccs.edu/now for all your registration needs. I want to go back up to one thing I think we glossed over. Let's see. Did we miss something, Brittany? I know you always keep me on task.
Fall Student Film Showcase.
Nope, we covered that.
One. Yeah, I think we went through all of ours.
The other thing, excuse me, would be the continuing ed classes.
There you
from
go.
Accounting to welding. Our HCC School of Continuing Education has launched classes that start weekly and monthly. So it's a great opportunity to just check up and see, what they have to offer. Because again, the fact that they offer weekly and monthly start classes or start dates is incredible. So you can check out their schedule. This is once again the HCC School of Continuing Education. You can check out their schedule by going to hccs.edu/CE.
And don't forget the mini 3-week semester. That's invaluable for students who are returning from, say, a 4-year college, coming home for the holidays, and they want to get in 3 credit hours. You can do it in 3 weeks. The classes begin, though, on Monday. Register today for those. It's very affordable, and it's very condensed classes, but you'll get those 3 hours upon completion, and they're transferable across most universities and colleges within the state of Texas. hccs.edu/now, one website to check it all out. Okay, Frank, sports is underway, and some crazy things are going on in college football. Okay, explain this to me. I understand we're in a pandemic, but they're eliminating the 6 games you need to qualify for a bowl. So, anybody with a few wins can go to a bowl if they're invited. But here's the kicker. LSU, they were the champions last year. This year, they ain't going to be champions. In fact, we're not even sure if they're going to have a winning record. But they've been hit with some NCAA investigations, and they've come back and said, you know what? We're going to take the bull by the horns. We're going to eliminate ourselves from bowl contention this year. They're 3-5. Tell me they were going to go to a bowl game anyway that was going to help their situation.
I mean, it's extremely laughable. It's one thing if you're like 7-2 or 6-0.
Yeah.
But like if the NCAA committee accepts this this punishment by this school, by LSU, that's ridiculous. Like they should be bowl eligible for next year as well. Like
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It could happen that way. It would have been different if they were undefeated. But I guarantee you, if they were undefeated, well, guess what? I bet you they wouldn't have pulled themselves from bowl contention. They would have said, let's get this investigation underway and we'll decide how it goes after the semester.
And that's the thing with a lot of these power schools is that, if you have an ineligible player or players, they should not be playing. No. Eventually, someone's going to blow a whistle on that. So why would you even put yourself in that position? You're LSU. You have multiple 5- and 4-star guys all across the roster. Just plug somebody else in, let the kid get experience. Don't put yourself out there, with opportunity to get suspended.
And here's my other gripe with this whole thing. And we talked about this before we went on the air. You've got a number of schools, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana Tech, Cincinnati. All of them either have undefeated records or, outstanding records. In some cases, like Cincinnati, teams they beat previously are ranked higher than them. But guess what? They're not in Power 5, so they're not even considered to play for a playoff system.
And that's one of my few gripes about the NCAA. Everything is all politics, it's all based on how many fans can your college or program bring to a bowl game? How much money can we generate? Our sponsorship deals. I get that. It's a business. It's a business model. Even though it's a flawed business model, I understand that. But in all years, Todd, this should be the year that a Cincinnati, a BYU, a Coastal Carolina,
they're an incredible story. They do it with the NCAA basketball. Why don't they do it in football?
All the time. And I get it. Like you want to be in the black. You want to make money. You want to generate revenue. But no fans are going to be able to be at these games, at these bowl games. It's going to be the administration and the team. That's it. So why not Why not do something solid and let one of these smaller programs get in?
I'd love to see a Coastal Carolina just take it to the top. Coastal Carolina and, somebody like Alabama going for the national championship.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be an incredible story? Just like every year when you have these Cinderella teams running through the NCAA tournament.
And we've seen examples of this in the past. Like at one point in time, TCU was a small Cinderella team.
Hawaii, they made it pretty far years ago too. Hawaii.
Boise State, that was a little known college back in 2007. Yeah. They beat a team that had Adrian Peterson on it, an OU team, with the Statue of Liberty play. So you have examples of smaller programs competing at a larger scale. Why not let it happen this year?
Yeah, I remember a U of H team about 5 years ago that beat a Florida State University team pretty handedly in
it wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close, and that was a wonderful day. Frank, it's good to see you again. We will talk to you next week. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, too.
All right, Brittany, we're going to miss you next week. We've got some fill-ins for you, but they just won't be Brittany.
Aw, Ty, that's 2 days in a row. You made me feel so special. Yes, I'll miss being on Up to the Minute. It's part of my morning routine. But I'm going to enjoy the break. It's been long coming. I just completed my first semester of my MBA and I need a break.
Good for you. Good for you. Before you leave, though, one last thing before this end out this year, why don't you let people know what's coming up for next on Monday?
I will certainly do that. So Monday, y'all are going to have a story about a local art history professor who recently passed and bequeathed 10,000 art history books to HCC libraries. That's wow. Never taught here, though. That's incredible. He taught at Rice, U of H, and other local schools, but wanted needy students to benefit from his collection. So Erica Hubbard of the HCC Central Library will tell us all about it. And also Melissa Burton of Coleman College for Health Sciences will visit once again, but this time to talk about a new program coming up in endoscopy. And y'all are going to look forward to hearing from her on Monday.
That's right. Thanks, Brittany. Have a great break, and we'll see you next year. But for all of you, we'll see you on Monday right here, Up to the Minute. Have a good weekend, by the way. But we'll see you Monday morning, 10 a.m. live right here.